Hello guys, welcome to another vlog. So much has happened in the last week that like our plans for like the entire like month of May have just been thrown up in the air. So I thought we could take a little bit of time. I could explain like what has happened. Thankfully most of it is not bad, so we'll just kind of review that. And then what I need to do is, because my plans have changed, instead of dyeing my hair next weekend and doing kind of, I was gonna do like a full self-care day, like shave my face, do face masks, dye my hair, and do all of that for a vlog. I kind of have to rush through it because a week from tomorrow I actually have to fly out for a work trip, a very last minute work trip, and that's kind of thrown off my plans for the month. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, dyeing my hair and having a discussion about my curly hair journey, because as of this month, May, it'll be 5 years since I went natural with my curly hair, and honestly I hit such a big rut and I was so frustrated with it that I kind of just started straightening my hair again, as you can see. So I just want to talk through all of that while I dye my hair. So let's start with the life updates, shall we? So first things first, poor little baby Rex hurt his back. He was like acting weird for a few days. He wasn't doing what he normally does, like hopping up to us when we walk into a room. He was like avoiding certain parts of the apartment with his hard wood, you know, where it's a little bit more slippery. And he was just acting weird for a couple of days. And then it got to the point where he was playing in the dog park with another dog, and the dog kind of like not hit him, but you know how dogs push each other to play? The dog did that and he growled and almost bit that dog, which he has never done before. And so we were like, that's not good. So I literally took him out of the dog park and I called Alvin and I said, I think he like his leg is hurt or something, because that's where the dog like hit him. And I was like, I think he hurt himself, so we need to like take him to the vet. And that was, what day was that? I think that was a Sunday. And then no, that was Monday. It was a Monday afternoon, and then that next morning was Tuesday, and he was very sluggish. He seemed to be like walking really slow, and he couldn't get up or, you know, stand up or lay down as quickly as he used to. And then what really hit it for me is that he went to the part of the apartment where we have like this hard mat where there's like a lot of traction on it, so it was easier for him to get up and get down, and he stayed there and he would not move. Even when I fed him breakfast, he is very food motivated, like almost to a ridiculous degree, but I put breakfast on the ground and he would not go over and eat. And that's when I panicked and I said, he's in pain, something is wrong, we need to take him to the vet. So thankfully his vet had an opening at 10 o'clock that morning, so like I called off work, he called off work, he came home, we drove to the vet, and poor thing, they said he probably pulled something. I think it might have been a muscle thing and not like a slipped disc or anything, because when she felt his back, she didn't, the veterinarian, she didn't feel anything out of place, but he was in a lot of pain. So like right then they had to give him a couple of shots. They gave him a steroid, they gave him some painkillers, and then they gave him an anti-nausea because the painkillers were gonna give him nausea. And essentially he was put on the doggy version of bed rest because they think he pulled his back or threw his back out. So I was really, you know, grateful that it wasn't anything more serious. It's been about a week since. The medicine has been helping. He's still on a steroid and a pain reliever twice a day. Thankfully he's doing better. So he's still got like 2 weeks left on the medication, and in that time until the medication is gone, he is on like very limited mobility and everything. So he cannot do stairs, we can't let him jump up on anything, we can't take him for long walks. He has to like go outside to pee and then come right back in. But really we've been using pee pads in the bathroom because he is pee pad trained, so he's just been going there, so we don't even have to like pick him up and bring him up and down stairs, because that could also aggravate his back quite a bit. So he's on very limited, you know, doggy rest for another couple of weeks. But I'm just so grateful because I immediately panicked and thought something worse was going to happen, but he's doing okay now.
Isn't that right, puppies? Oh, my sneeze. You doing good? You doing better? Yeah. Poor thing.
So that was literally the first half of the week. Like that was Monday, Tuesday. And then I work from home, thankfully. So I was able to keep an eye on him and, you know, give him his medicine and make sure everything was, you know, he wasn't seeing any like, there are worse signs that he wasn't doing. Because the vet was like, if he does X, Y, or Z, it's getting worse and we need to bring him in for something. Thankfully, those never happened. And I was able to keep an eye on him all day because I'm here all day. The bad news is that while this was happening, work was going crazy too. So my company has been doing kind of essentially like reorging and laying people off since November. They did a big round of layoffs. They kind of restructured the organization, and we were told we were going to be in this one group. Well, we never really fit. So my department was moved from this group to another group a few weeks ago, and then we just found out today, not only were we moved again, there was another huge round of layoffs. So a bunch of other people were laid off, and we were moved not only to a different department, but to like an entire different organization in the company. So it was a big change for us. We found out that on Monday. By Thursday, we were introduced to the new team, and we were told that like May 8th, we had to fly out to like meet the whole team because they had an entire meeting scheduled where the whole team is gonna go meet in person. So it moved really fast. I already have my flight booked. I'm gonna be flying out of Newark. We're going to, I don't know if I should say because I don't know when this vlog is gonna go up, but if I'm already back here, I'll throw it right here. This is where I'm going. But it just happened real fast. So that's why I had to grab my suitcase out of the closet. You're currently perched on top of a bunch of travel size things that I have to get stuff together for. But that's the reason why I have to do my hair this weekend, is because I'm not gonna have any time next weekend, because Monday I'm attending like a symposium. Tuesday through Friday I have to just work like normal, and then the weekend we have to do some shopping, run some errands, and then I fly out Monday morning. So we're cutting it pretty tight. I spent all day today, because today is a Sunday, so I fly out a week from tomorrow. I literally spent all day today editing, catching up on YouTube stuff, and it is currently, what time is it? It is 1:36. So I need to go ahead and get my hair started so it can go ahead and sit for like the 40 minutes that it needs. Then I can jump in the shower, do an Olaplex treatment, rinse everything out, and then get everything else that I need to get done. So those are a lot of updates, but that's what happened. Thankfully, we are all healthy. We are all doing okay. I'm super anxious about traveling since what happened in January is still fresh on my mind, but we are gonna hope for the best. We're gonna do our very best here. So let's go to the bathroom and get this started. I need more Diet Coke. And after a quick lunch break of a brie bite and a Caesar salad, we are ready. I realized it was like 2 o'clock and I hadn't eaten lunch and Rex hadn't eaten either, so he got his greenie. I got my brie bite and salad, which if you've never tried the brie bites from Trader Joe's, it's like the perfect amount of cheese to satisfy that brie craving when it's not like, I mean, it's still got a lot of calories, it's brie, but it's like the perfect little snack, and Alvin got them for me just like on a whim, and it's one of the best things ever. So let's get into this hair. So this is my natural hair color. Let me see if you can see it in like the light. It's like this very, very dark, warm brown. You can see it up here. Let me bring a light over here. Yeah, you see like that kind of warm brown. That's what it looks like in like sunlight and everything. So it's very, very warm, and it's just very, very dark brown. But in certain lights, it basically looks black. So what I've been doing for the last few years, it honestly doesn't make a huge difference to anyone that's not me, but I like dyeing it just like a really, really cool, darker black. And my favorite recently for hair dye has been the IGK Color Permanent Color Kit in the shade 1B Moondance. I've tried a couple of other black box dyes, but I love how this is. It comes with the gloves, it comes with everything. Well, I'll open it up and show you everything in here. But I first found this through Taylor Wynn. She dyes her hair black, and she always uses box dye. Every now and then she'll go to a salon, but typically she uses the box dye. And I tried this one and I loved it. She doesn't use it anymore. She's kind of moved on to, I think, some cheaper alternatives, because this is almost $30 for the box. But 30 bucks every like 5 months, for me, it's not gonna break the bank. All right, so when you open it, it has the instructions like on the box itself, which is actually pretty like useful, helpful, so that you don't have another piece of paper you're trying to like keep open and not wet when you're doing the whole process. It comes with a little pair of black gloves. It comes with the rich cream pigment for the color, and then your color developer. And then it comes with the Erase Stain Removing Cleanser. This is step number 5. This is Protect. You put this kind of, basically it's petroleum jelly. You put along your hairline so you don't stain your face. And then it comes with a post-color treatment mask that you use in the shower after you rinse it all off. And then here are the instructions. It's just standard for hair dyeing. I follow the directions essentially to cover grays, because while I have not seen a full gray yet, I think it must be imminent. I just turned 30. Alvin already has plenty of grays. I haven't seen a full gray, but it's gonna happen eventually. So I just followed those directions because I know I'm never going to go for a lighter hair color ever again. So once upon a time, I was a teenager. I tried to get highlights. They did not turn out nice. I tried dyeing my hair lighter, dyeing my hair red. And then just a few years ago, I did an under dye. So like I kept all of this black and then like the bottom back, I tried to bleach blonde and go silver. That did not go well. So like, and then I was left with like these like really bad damaged bleach spots for like 2 years and it looked terrible. So I know what looks best on me, and what looked best on me is like a really cool black. So I'm never gonna go light, which is why I'm fine using black box dye. Do not use black box dye if at any point you think you're gonna go for a lighter hair color, because it's gonna be a bitch to get out. Go to a salon instead. All right, let me get these headphones off and let's start sectioning this hair. Okay, like the direction says, we're gonna part into 4 sections, which normally if my hair was longer, I would do more than 4 because my hair is really thick. But my hair is pretty short because I did kind of get like a botched haircut a few months ago. So I'm gonna I think I'll be just fine with just the 4 sections. So that's over here. Over here we shall split. Should I try and do this neat for the camera? Maybe. I'm not a hairstylist. I am just someone who watches a lot of tutorials and doesn't want to go back to a salon anytime soon. And my arms already hurt. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start. Oh, I look delicious, don't I? I'm gonna go ahead and apply this step 1 to just like my forehead and like the top of my ears, because I tend to like stain here pretty badly. So anyway, let's talk about my curly hair. So 5 years ago, and it's 5 years because this is my 5-year anniversary with my company, because when I switched jobs and I joined a new company, that's when I decided to, you know what, let me try going naturally curly, because no one here knows me for having straight or curly hair, and I could kind of start fresh. So my hair at first, I was a frizz ball. Throw a picture up of what my ID photo looked like my first day at work. It was just all frizz, all heat damage, all sorts of frizz ballness, triangle, very triangle. I ended up getting my first curly cut about a year later, and that was actually a really good cut. I went to this really like famous salon here in Jersey. It was expensive, but I got a really great haircut. Not too long after is when COVID hit. So I was keeping my hair curly, I was not straightening it at all. And then COVID hit and I wasn't able to like keep up with haircuts or really do much of anything self-care wise for a long time. And then after we moved and after COVID was a bit more under control in our area, I decided to try and go for a haircut. But at that point, I was looking up the salon I used to go to, and haircuts were like over $200. And that's like for just a haircut. That wasn't a dye, that wasn't anything, it was just a cut. And to me, that seemed absolutely ludicrous. Like over $200 just for a cut. So honestly, that's when, like, throughout COVID, I was just kind of cutting my own hair, and it was turning out decent because I stayed curly. If I had straightened my hair, you could see that it was not even at all, but I was still keeping it curly and I was still doing okay, so I just went with it. Then I fell into like a bit of a rut with my hair. It was like after we moved and I was still deep conditioning, I was clarifying, I was doing all the stupid curly girl steps. And there were times where I would take all this time and all this money and I would do all the work, and then my hair would still not look great at the end of it. And I was getting so frustrated and annoyed. Like, why am I spending all this extra money on curly hair products and deep conditioners and everything else, and spending so much time, it's hours to wash my hair just to get something that still doesn't look great. And I would be going in with a curling iron, I started doing that, and like fixing curls here and there. It wasn't great, and I was getting so frustrated, and I thought, well, you know what? I think it's my haircut, and I'm gonna start mixing in the color with the developer. So I thought it was like my cut. I thought I just needed a haircut, and then I would have the shape back, and maybe things would start, you know, going back to not normal, but getting a bit better. Squeezing it in. So finally, we were invited to the wedding in January, and I decided, you know what, this is my time. I need to go get like an actual professional haircut so that I look decent for the wedding. So in December, I made the appointment back in like October for December at a new salon that opened up right by my grandmother's house. And I don't drive. I don't drive. I hate driving. I'm too anxious ridden to drive. But the new salon was within walking distance of my grandmother's house. So that's literally the only reason why I picked it, and also because they offered curly cuts online. The big stickler point. So I made this appointment for a curly cut, and then a few weeks before my appointment, the salon calls me and says, yeah, so we're sorry, the website doesn't say this, but we only offer curly cuts at this one salon satellite location and not the one that you're going to. Do you want to go to that other salon? And I told her, I was like, no, the only reason I chose that salon location was because the website said you do curly cuts and it's within walking distance for me. You know, if you're telling me I have to go miles away to another salon, I'm gonna cancel my appointment. And then this is a red flag that I ignored. I should have fucking listened. She said, oh, no, that's okay. Don't cancel your appointment. We can still do a curly cut. We just can't do the wash and the diffusing. Yeah, sure. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then just keep my appointment. So I kept the appointment and I went. Wonderful woman. She was really nice. Really only spoke Spanish, and it was Dominican Spanish. My only Spanish that I know is more Puerto Rican Spanish, and still my Spanish isn't great. So communication wasn't the best, but also like they immediately washed my hair and started cutting it for straight, and I was like, oh shit. So clearly they put me with somebody who did not know how to do a curly cut at all, and so I got a regular straight haircut, and it wasn't, I tried so hard to like be happy about it and make it work. But it ultimately, it was a botched job on me, which it's not all bad. My grandmother actually ended up going to her and she cuts my grandmother's hair just fine. So like my grandmother has a new stylist. She's super happy about that, so that's great. I just did not, I did not get that. All right, this has been mixing for quite some time. One tip, I try to clean up as I go so I don't like make a mess like on my counter, because this is gonna obviously stain. So I try to like throw things out as I empty them and recycle and everything as we go. So after I got that haircut, I was pretty discouraged. I mean, I could kind of sort of make it work, I thought, for like the wedding that we ended up not going to. If you missed that fun brigade, I'll throw that video up in the cards, but we ended up not making it to the wedding. But then after that, I was just so just blah with my hair. My hair wasn't looking great. It still was, I was in that rut. Didn't matter what I did. The curls just were looking weird. My layers were weird. It wasn't sitting right. So eventually I just, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me just straighten my hair once. See how it goes. Now the directions say to start from, I think, the back of the head. Yeah, start at the back. So typically, I don't have to be super precise with this because I'm just doing black, all one color. So I'm just gonna kind of start going in and like smushing stuff around. Very, very technical terms here. Smushing. Oh my god, it's like storming outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's been like raining the last 2 days, and today we're actually getting like thunderstorms out. So I felt blah. I straightened my hair, and honestly, I really liked how it looked. And that's one thing that I absolutely despise about having naturally curly hair. It was fun at first, learning like everything. So what actually brought this to my mind was an email I got from a curly hair company, and it was like, everything you need to know about curly hair, part 1. And it was like, buy all these products and do all of these long processes, and it was kind of like literally the representation of everything that I was sick of having to do for my natural hair. And it's just that, like having to buy all these products and take all this time to take care of my hair and do the conditioning and do everything. And it would be one thing if you did all of that and there was a guarantee your hair would turn out great, because there's not. That's the horrific part about it, is that you could do all the deep conditioners, you could do the protein treatments, you can sleep in a satin bonnet with a satin pillowcase, and you could like wash your hair once a week and make sure you don't clarify too often, and like there were so many rules, and ultimately it was just so expensive and so frustrating, especially when I first kind of came into this with the thought, a naive thought, that keeping my hair naturally curly would be easier than blow drying it and straightening it, which it absolutely is not. It is so much infinitely easier to just blow dry and straighten my hair, which is kind of just what I've gone back to. The only influencer that I've really heard talking about this is like Sam Vey. She has naturally curly hair, and she, for the most part, blow dries and straightens her hair. And she's a hairstylist too. So to hear her saying kind of the same stuff really resonated with me. So while I think I had like decent curly hair for a while, I think I'm now at that stage in my life where I don't want to have to spend hours every week doing my hair. Because it's one thing to wash your hair once a week, but even if I do that with curly, I have to do a pre-shampoo treatment, and then I have to do a deep conditioning treatment afterwards, and then I have to like let it air dry or diffuse, and like it was just so many steps. And then to do all of those steps and to still have your hair come out looking like shit was like just the most demoralizing thing I think I had gone through recently, which in the grand scheme of things is not bad. But, you know, to be frank, I had complete control over it. So I decided to just start straightening my hair again. I don't know if it's gonna be forever. I just know, at least for the time being, it is so much easier and nicer to just blow dry and straighten my hair for less than an hour, because now I have the Dyson blow dryer. It takes me 11 minutes to blow dry my hair. And then maybe another 20 to straighten it after that. You know, after all is said and done, I just think I need that time back, for lack of a better word. I think it was also nice back when Alvin and I weren't living together, and I kind of had all this free time, but I was kind of stuck in a house, and I had like toxic family, and I didn't have anywhere else to really go and things to do. But now I have a great family. Alvin and I live together. You know, I've got so many plans. We're always busy, which is great. I don't want to spend time on this hair that much anymore. So that's kind of what I've been going through and thinking. And the part of me that is like still afraid to talk about this is like, because I don't want to call it a cult, but it's almost like when you go natural, it's almost like if you go back to straightening your hair, not only are you like spitting in the face of like your own culture. Like, I don't hate being Puerto Rican. It's just, I hate how long it takes me to do my hair. That's just it. So, like I said, I don't know if it's gonna be permanent. I just know that at least for now, I am very happy to go back to straightening my hair. And also, it is so much easier to dye my hair when it's straight, because I did this, I think, on my main channel. I'll have to find the video and link it. But one of the first videos I filmed in this bathroom was a video about dyeing my hair using Madison Reed, which, you know, Madison Reed was a good hair dye. It was really nice, but it didn't go dark enough for me. It didn't go blue-black. It was essentially just kind of like a neutral black. So while the color was very gentle and looked nice, I really wanted that blue-black. So that's why I've gone with this one from IGK. Got a straggler back here. But also, at the very end, I'm gonna like mush it all together, so I'm not worried about like 1 or 2 strands missing or not getting caught. I will try to be a little bit thorough like here in the front, just because this is the part I'm gonna see the most. And if I fuck it up or if I miss a spot, I will see it. Our Amazon package just got delivered. Imagine going outside looking like this to grab a package. I'll wait till it's done in processing and then I'll go grab it. Okay, speaking of, I alternate where I buy this hair dye. It's available on Ulta, and so if you want to like get your Ulta points and save some money and use the coupons, you can get it there. But this is also available on Amazon, and I did finally take the time to put together an Amazon storefront, and it took me forever. I had no idea how much work really went into like creating a storefront, but I realized we do like a good amount of shopping on Amazon, and as I was putting together the reorganization declutter videos, basically almost everything I used was on Amazon. So I was like, you know what, now's the time. It'd be the time to do it. So I'll have it linked down below. I have a section for hair, and I linked all of my favorite hair tools, hair accessories, like these round brushes over here. I just got off of Amazon. This hair dye, because Amazon honestly just ships faster and ships better. Ulta is garbage when it comes to their online orders. It's terrible, but it's true. They literally just throw everything in a box and hope for the best. And I've heard, thankfully I haven't had any bad run-ins with customer service, but I've also heard that if anything gets damaged or if anything is missing, that their customer service is like a nightmare to work with. So I kind of just prefer the convenience and the knowledge that I know my order is going to be safe and better taken care of with Amazon. I got a spot of dye right there. I don't want to grab it when I have my gloves on, but that's gonna be an interesting stain. And then for certain areas, I like to just put the mixture on my gloves and just start working it through. Again, I don't have to be super precise, which is kind of why I love this. It's so much easier when you're just doing like one all over darker color. You can kind of just slap it on. And as you can see, it's starting to process up here. It's got that nice blue undertone that looks like blue jeans that you just bought. There we go. Another reason why I really like this hair dyeing kit is the amount of product that it gives you. With other like black box dyes from the drugstore, I would typically have to get 2 boxes just because I have hair that is so thick and coarse. But with this, I've never had to buy more than 1. Where are you? You're in the back. Okay, so now I've kind of missed the back middle. So I'm literally just gonna take it all out and like take the cap off and just start smushing everything all around just to make sure everything's covered before we put it up to process. Now this is where I really hope I don't flick any of this onto the walls. But then again, this paint is terrible anyway, so does it really matter? Okay, this is the last little bit of the color and I'm literally just gonna slap it on the fronts just to make sure everything is fully coated. There we go. Now I'm gonna take these off right into the trash can and just grab. The camera died before I finished talking, so like I was saying, I needed to take my gloves off right above the trash can because they were soaked, and I'm just taking some makeup wipes and wiping off the little pieces of dye that I kind of got all over my arms. We are good on that side, and then I need to go ahead and move the bottle. Oh, I got a big blob of it in the sink. Fun. So just go ahead and wipe off what's right around the forehead before it sets. So it wasn't until I started cleaning my ears that I just realized I forgot to do my eyebrows. So I need to run and grab my brow brush so we could dip in and tint the brows as well. All right, so this is just my KVD brush. What I'm gonna just do is dip it into whatever of the dye is kind of left at the top of the bottle and run it through my brows. Okay, so I jumped off camera to finish my brows because that's a part you do need to be precise in running it through my brows. So I just use a my same angled KVD brush that I use for my regular brows when I use a pomade, and then I just brush the color through. I went a little heavier this time because I do want it to be like a really nice dark black, and I do want to stain the skin like a little bit under the brows to make it look like they're a bit more filled in, especially for the trip I'm about to take, so I thought why not. Okay, and everything else is looking great, so I'm just gonna pop on a processing cap. Ooh, there's some I gotta get off. Get down here, get that little scraggler. There we go. So I will just clean up and I will set a 40-minute timer on this. There we go. And I am going to do some cleaning up. I'll probably put some clean dishes away, wash the dishes that are in the sink, maybe do a little bit of dinner prep, and then in 40 minutes I will jump in the shower and I'll show you where we're at, because afterwards I am going to do an Olaplex treatment. So 40 minutes later, we're ready, and it's so like humid and gross in my apartment that like, look, there's like condensation in my thing. I've never seen that before, but it's been nasty and raining all day. Waha! And here we are, looking good. So I'm gonna jump in the shower, rinse, wash, and then probably in the shower I'm gonna put my Olaplex on, set a timer for 20 minutes, get out, dry off everything, and then I'm gonna deep rinse again, because you don't want to leave any of the Olaplex in your hair, because this is the number 3. It's not any other leave-in treatment. And then we'll be back. Okay, and we are just about done. So this is the after, and honestly, I love the color. It looks great. It looks nice and shiny. It's a little dry on the end, so I'm gonna go in. I already went in with this repair leave-in hair mask just on the ends, and then before I go to bed, I'm gonna put in the Way hair oil. I hate how expensive this is, but it's nice. It's really nice. It smells delightful, and it works really nice on my ends. And then something I just started using, I got the Way scalp serum. I picked this up during the Sephora sale. I've been liking it so far, but I don't like putting it on like day one fresh hair because it can make my hair look a little greasy, even though it feels really nice on my scalp. So I'll probably just go in with this hair oil just on the ends. You know, why not just do it now? Because all I'm doing is making dinner and then heading to bed. But unfortunately, what I was gonna say is you can kind of see my haircut. Like, this is the haircut I got a few months ago. It's choppy. It might help if I put my arm in front. Yeah, you see, choppy. So it's not the best. So that's part of the reason why I was just so blah. But when I either throw it up or when I style it, or I'll go in like and do a couple of little curls here and there, I can make it look a little bit better. But I think at this point I'm just gonna start growing it out, because back when I was in college, I had hair almost down to my butt. And it was a lot to deal with, especially when I was blow drying and straightening it. But I kind of miss it. So I think now I am gonna try and grow it out. I would love to have hair that long again, because there was just so much I could do with it. There we go, that's nice, now that the hair oil is in. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna be doing like little trims on myself here and there. And then we'll see how long I can get it to grow. Right now, it's like a little bit lower than collarbone. It's kind of hard to tell. Here we go. It's a little bit lower than collarbone length, so I think once I grow out these layers, it won't be too bad. So the good news is now this hair, I won't have to wash it again until like next weekend, which is why this is so much nicer. Today it was a little bit longer because I dyed my hair and did the Olaplex treatment just to kind of prevent extra damage from happening towards the ends of my hair. But like on a quick day, all I had to do is like let my hair air dry a little bit, blow dry it for 10 minutes, and then straighten it, and I'm good for a week, which is a lot easier than it was when it was curly. So like I said, I don't think this is going to be permanent, but this is my current go-to routine, and I'm glad I had time to refresh my hair before the craziness of next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know what the heck this was, a rant, a kind of sort of day in my life, Sunday in my life. I don't know if I'm going to film like a packing for my trip for the main channel. I might just do a vlog, so that might be coming up sometime after my trip, once I have time to edit this and get it up, and once I have time to film that, because I'm probably going to film it as I pack next weekend. So thank you guys for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye. Look how shiny it is.